So we start with the intuition that the way that Millennium Development Goals are articulated lacks poetry. Now, something which is really a policy cannot be based just on economic indicators, because politics is also poetry. It's also emotional. It has to be in dialogue with the culture of the people, not just with the specialized institutions which understand mathematical indicators. So we say that the reasons why the newsmakers do not worldwide know very little or almost nothing about the Millennium Development Goals is because they have not been integrated in a poetic form. Now, by poetry, I don't mean mysticism. By poetry, I mean something which is human. It's a way of articulation that is human. In a sense, you can say also they lack the music. So now, what you have to find out is what is the kind of music which can dialogue with politics, which can dialogue with economy, which can dialogue with the sense of justice, a sense of fairness among the nations. What is that kind of music? And when you go around in different countries, you ask for music contribution. Like in the other interviews, we are asking for contribution of ideas. We ask for contribution of data. We ask contribution of stories. Instead, you ask for contribution of music. But remember, you're not searching the music just as a soundtrack. You are searching for that kind of music which can dialogue with economy and so make something which is at the same time political and poetic. In many cases, traditional music was in dialogue with ethics, was in dialogue with identity, a cultural identity. And a cultural identity was made of ethical element, artistic element, religious element, policy elements, but they're not really separated one another. I think now we're doing, in the new development culture, we're doing a mistake of separating the sectors. Economy, politics, and poetry and music as different sectors, but they don't work. You see, government is at the same time an institution which runs a country in a managerial sense, but it's also a representation of the ideal, of the aspiration, of the dreams, of the culture of the people. Now, if we're making a global agenda, we should be in dialogue with both. From one side, with the institutional elements of policy planning in the economic sense. And economy has to be there because we are facing poverty, and you cannot take out economy from facing poverty. But it's not a purely economic factor. If it has to really to be a shared policy, it has to be also in dialogue with emotion, aspiration, and dreams of the people. Or in another sense, it has to become a poet, a poetry, a poem. Now, can it become a poem without the right music? I don't think. So when you are searching for the soundtrack of the Millennium Development Goals, you are also searching for the way that people can contribute in order to bridge the gap between the economic indicators and aspiration and dreams of the people. So to rewrite the Millennium Development Goals Declaration with the right sound base.